Yo, what's up guys? Today we are going to be taking a look at some of the best controller options for the Steam Deck today. So we have the Steam Deck, and of course it's a handheld device, but sometimes you may want to, dock it, you may want to set it to the side, and you want the best options as far as controlling your Steam Deck when you're not using the built-in controllers. So I've got a collection of what I believe to be some of the best controller options for the Steam Deck on the market today. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So we have four of what I believe to be the best options. Of course, there's other options on the market. There's hundreds of controllers you can get, but these are some of the best options right now, in my opinion. So starting from the top left here, we have the good old DualShock 4 PS4 controller. This is an awesome option. We're gonna get into that. We also have one of my favorite controllers here of all time, the Steam controller. This controller is actually what made me want to get the Steam Deck in the first place. Then we have the Xbox Series S and X controller. Slightly different from the Xbox One controller. And then we have the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. So we're going right into it, starting off with the form, starting off with the design. So the PS4 controller, the DualShock 4, however you want to call it, is tried and true. It's pretty much the same design from like the PS2 to PS3 all the way up to the PS4. Didn't really change until you got to the PS5. So this controller here, the design is actually pretty good. It does feel pretty good in the hands. I will say that some people do not like the parallel joysticks. I'm kind of indifferent. To me, I could go either way, but I will say for my hands, it is slightly less ergonomic than the offset of the Xbox, but it still feels good. It doesn't feel like cramped or anything like that. One thing you'll notice is that I have this back attachment here, and that's going to be like the theme of this video. When I'm looking for the best controller for the Steam Deck, I want to consider all the additional features that the Steam Deck has. So for example, the Steam Deck, of course, it has these trackpads and these back buttons here, these programmable back buttons here, as you can see, 4 of them. So that's something that I always want to consider when considering the best controller for the Steam Deck. Now the PS4 controller on its own, it doesn't have these back buttons, but with this attachment, you can get this attachment for around $20, even less on like eBay or aftermarket. Right now it's on Amazon for like $29 new. So you can get this for around $15 to $30, and it gives you the option to have 2 programmable back buttons. You can program these to any of the face buttons that are on it. Any button can be used as these back buttons. So I love the addition of these back buttons here. They sit exactly where your index finger sits here, your middle finger, sorry. So it's very easy and ergonomic to press these. And also another thing that I'm considering when I consider the best Steam Deck controller is gyro. So the Steam Deck does have gyro, and so does the PS4 controller. So you can use gyro for things like aiming, and it does give you an additional control method just for that fine-tuned aiming. You can use gyro, and the thing about this is you can customize it and program that within the Steam Deck itself. So you can customize the gyro, what button you want to activate it, and everything like that can be adjusted within the Steam Deck software itself. So moving right along, we get to the Steam controller. The good old Steam controller, one of my favorite controllers of all time. Now we see a different approach to reaching all of the features that the Steam Deck has. We now see the trackpads that we know and love from the Steam Deck. This is like a love or hate it type of situation. Some people love the trackpad, other people can't stand it. I'm one of those people that I do enjoy the trackpad, but this is not my go-to controller for like a racing game, only because that trackpad is much easier to press or touch than like a joystick. So sometimes you get the camera moving while in a racing game. But overall, this was my favorite controller of all time. This is what inspired me, and made me even want to get the Steam Deck, because I thought that, hey, as a handheld with these type of features, I'm all for that. So we see we have that trackpad. This is also a touchpad. You can use it as a direction button, and you can also use it as just a touchpad itself. These have the same functions. This just has this indentation to let you know that you can use it as a D-pad. We have that joystick for moving all your buttons. On the back, we have 2 additional programmable buttons, so one on each side, and this is very easy to press, very ergonomic. I would say that this controller is very ergonomic. We also have that dual stage trigger, so you can push it and then there's a click all the way, so that is actually very nice. So yeah, this is a great option for the Steam Deck. Only I would say some people do not like that it doesn't have a right joystick, and I definitely understand that. Now, going on to the Xbox Elite controller. This controller, I will say, has the best build quality of all the controllers, but there is a reason why I have to almost disqualify this controller. So this controller is amazing. If you have ever held the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, you know that it feels solid in the hand. It feels like it was built to last. There is a trigger customization in terms of the level there. So you have 3 levels of customization, and there are also 4 back paddles on this that can be programmed to any button. I will say that you have to use the computer software to program this, but it also has profiles, so once you get that saved in, you're good to go. It also has removable joysticks that can be swapped out for a different version, and a D-pad swap from a 4-way to a sort of omnidirectional D-pad here. So this one is an awesome option. I almost have to disqualify it only because it's lacking the gyro. It's lacking the gyro feature, which is something that I find very helpful in like shooting games, FPS games, to get that fine-tuned aiming. I do enjoy gyro on a controller, but if you don't really care for gyro, the Xbox Elite controller is an awesome controller, but the other options do have that. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, this is the newest addition to my best Steam Deck controllers list, is the Xbox Series X and S controller. But what makes this now one of the best controllers for the Steam Deck is this back attachment here. You see that? That's this back attachment. It adds 4 programmable buttons, and also adds, I don't know if you can see that, gyro. It adds a gyro, so you can see that symbol there. That's the gyro. So you get gyro with this. You get 4 customizable buttons, and just listen to that click. I don't know about you, but I like a good clicky button. But anyway, this now adds gyro and 4 extra buttons to the original Xbox Series S and S controller, and that's what makes this an amazing option for me. Now, I will say, if I had to rate these controllers, if I have to rank them, it really comes down to personal preference. Now, I will say that the PS4 controller, if you don't have a PS4, it probably wouldn't make sense to go out and buy the PS4 controller. But if you have a PS4 and you have a PS4 controller lying around, it's a great option for the Steam Deck. Just pick up one of these back attachments for around $20, and you got yourself an amazing Steam Deck controller. This trackpad also works as a trackpad, so you can use this for like a mouse, or you can even use this for other trackpad features as you would like. It can all be programmed within the Steam Deck menu itself. So this is a great option if you have a PS4, or if you prefer this side-by-side sticks, then this is the best option for you. Now, I will say that the Steam controller is, if you don't already have one of these, it's hard to find these now because they are discontinued, so it's hard to find one of these Steam controllers. But if you love that trackpad, this is going to be your best option for a controller with a trackpad. And you have those back buttons and the gyro. This controller is almost everything you need to replicate the Steam Deck input itself. But like I said, this trackpad is make or break for some people. Some people love it, some people hate it. If you love it on the Steam Deck and you only use the trackpad, then this is the one for you. Now, this one I will say is the lowest on the list for me right now, only because it lacks the gyro feature. I really do appreciate the gyro on a controller, just to have the option. This controller doesn't have that option, so I kind of take a few points off for that. But if you absolutely do not care for the gyro at all, then the Xbox Series Elite controller is going to be an amazing controller, just for the way that it feels, the build quality. It feels solid in the hand. It has those 4 back paddles, and it's a great option. But it is kind of expensive. This one is still around $150. Now, the newest edition, I will say that this is probably my favorite option right now, and that is because this controller right here, the Xbox controller, is pretty cheap now. You can get these for around $40, $50. The back attachment is around $60. So I guess for $100 total, you have a great controller. You have 4 back buttons, programmable back buttons, with the gyro aiming, and you can use this controller on your computer, on your Nintendo Switch even. You can use it on your Steam Deck, and of course you can use it on your Xbox. So this controller is an all-around amazing controller with this back attachment. Without the attachment, I would say it wouldn't really be on the list. But with this back attachment, this is the big one Armor X Pro back attachment. Got it from Amazon for around $60, and this turns this normal Xbox Series controller into a contender for the best controller for the Steam Deck. So if I had to rank them, I would rank them like this. First, I would put the Xbox Series S controller with the back attachment. Then I would put the PlayStation 4 controller, only because it has that back attachment, it has the gyro, and it even has the trackpad. I put the trackpad, I gave it some bonus points for the trackpad. Then the Steam controller, and then last but not least, the Xbox Series X controller. I mean the Xbox Elite controller. And I know it feels kind of strange to put the Elite controller last, but only because it lacks some of those features, specifically the gyro. But it is a great controller. This one is first because it's the most versatile. It can be used on Nintendo Switch, PC, of course Steam Deck, and of course Xbox. This one, it has pretty much all the features that you would want. It has the gyro, it has the back buttons, it has the trackpad, and of course it has the joystick for those who appreciate the joystick. Then the Steam controller has the trackpad. That's make or break for some people, I understand that. It has the back buttons, and it has the 2-stage triggers that the Steam Deck does utilize. And then this one, only extra thing you get pretty much is those 4 back buttons. So if you need 4 back buttons, I guess if you need 4 back buttons, then your only option is to have the standard Xbox controller with the attachment. You get 4 back buttons here with the gyro, or you have the Xbox Elite Series 2 that does give you 4 back buttons. If you need 4 back buttons, these are your only 2 options. If you can survive with 2, then this is a great option, and this is also a great option. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what is your favorite controller for the Steam Deck when you're using it docked, or not using the built-in controller. Let me know what your favorite controller is for the Steam Deck. These are some of my favorite options here. I think that this is a pretty much range of what you can expect from a Steam Deck controller. Most third-party controllers are going to be like the Xbox controller, and it's going to be like the standard Xbox shape and layout. So even though I have other controllers, it doesn't make sense to include them because they're pretty much going to be the same thing as the Xbox controller, but just with less features or lower build quality. So yeah, these are my favorite Steam Deck controllers right now. This is the order of how I would rank them. Let me know in the comments how you would rank them, and let me know what your favorite controller is in the comments below. Anyway, the year is coming to an end now, or maybe 2023 when you watch this. Happy New Year, and yeah, happy gaming. Peace.